would now like to pass on to Dr. Alessandro Massazza, who is the research manager in mental health evidence, and also Irini Pantelidou, who is the research manager in climate and health, both from the Wellcome Trust. Now, both of them would be providing us with an overview of Wellcome's strategy on climate change and health and mental health as well. And they would also be letting us know why Wellcome initiated this project in the first place. Over to you.
Great, thank you so much. And it's really a pleasure to be with everyone today to talk about this exciting new project. So next slide, please. So for those of you that don't know Wellcome, Wellcome is a global charitable foundation committed to spending £16 billion over the next 10 years. Wellcome's mission is to support science to solve the urgent health challenges facing everyone. Our new strategy has 3 challenge areas of focus. These are infectious diseases, climate and health, and mental health. Discovery research is also a key focus area for Wellcome, and this really hones in on curiosity-driven research on anything to do with life, health, and well-being, and this includes mental health and climate change. Equity, diversity, and inclusion, as well as research culture, are embedded in our work and underpin our strategy. We want the broadest possible range of people to contribute to and benefit from science's potential to change the world. Next slide, please. So the climate and health challenge area, our mission is to put health at the heart of climate change action. And we do this through 4 goals. We quantify the impact that climate change is going to have on health. We want to identify the health benefits of climate change mitigation. We want to establish the evidence on health of climate change adaptation, and we want to build a global climate and health community. This project is led by the climate and health challenge area at Wellcome. And I'll now pass on to my colleague, Ali.
Thank you, Irini. So as Irini mentioned, this project falls under the climate and mental health strategy. But we also wanted to give you a brief overview of our mental health strategy here at Wellcome. So our vision is that of a world in which no one is held back by mental health problems. And we aim to achieve this by creating a step change in early intervention for anxiety, depression, and psychosis. So we define these conditions quite broadly to include all types of anxiety and depressive disorders, as well as all forms of psychotic disorders. We focus on these conditions because they are the ones resulting in the higher burden of disease worldwide and the ones that are most disabling. While the current project will not have to fully align to the strategy, we're still keen on ensuring it will help us advance the mental health strategy at Wellcome. Next slide, please. So at Wellcome, we have 2 primary goals for mental health. The first is concerned with basic research and aims to create a greater understanding of how brain, body, and environment interact in the trajectory and resolution of anxiety, depression, and psychosis. The second goal is more concerned with translational and applied research aimed at identifying new and improved usable ways to predict, identify, and intervene as early as possible for anxiety, depression, and psychosis. While these may appear like separate goals, a lot of the work that we fund falls at the intersection between these. Additionally, all the work that we fund and do is informed by the expertise and insights of people with lived experience of mental health challenges, by which we mean people who identify as having personal experience of anxiety, depression, and or psychosis, either currently or in the past. Next slide, please. So why is Wellcome funding this project? There are various reasons why Wellcome has funded this project at the intersection between climate change and mental health. So firstly, this is an area that is of high strategic interest to us, given the 2 of the main challenges for us at Wellcome are climate and health and mental health. Additionally, we have particular interest in field building activities where we can use our convening powers to strengthen particular fields of research. We're also a global funder, and we're therefore keen on addressing what are likely to be 2 of the main global challenges humanity will face in the following decades. Finally, we also want to support this work both for the greater good, as well as to support us in advancing our climate and mental health strategies. Next slide, please. We are keen for this project to maintain a specific strategic focus on mental health challenges in the context of climate change. That is, feeling, thoughts, and behaviors that lead to significant psychological distress and impairments in one or more areas of functioning. We do not expect an alignment with specific diagnostic terminologies such as the DSM or the ICD, but key areas that we're particularly interested in may include, but are not limited to, depression, anxiety, psychosis, self-harm, suicide, and substance use disorder, for as examples. Emerging psychological constructs such as climate anxiety would be in scope when they fall within the definition of mental health challenges outlined above. This is not to signal that elements that would not be covered by this project are not important, but rather to ensure that we engage in the space where we are most likely to make the biggest difference as Wellcome. Next slide, please.
So we envision that this project will align with the climate and health strategy through a focus on climate change knowledge and interventions that lead to a clear research and action agenda, particularly aligned with our broad strategy of quantifying the impact of climate change on mental health, adapting to and mitigating against climate change in ways that benefit mental health, and contributing to the building of the climate change and mental health field. We envision that vulnerable populations and those most affected at this intersection of climate change and mental health will be the primary focus audience for this work. And our final slide, please.
So thank you very much for listening. This is a one-year investment for Wellcome, but we hope that this project will strengthen the field, catalyze funding, and bring others into the space. We are really excited to be supporting this project that will lay the foundations for an inclusive, methodologically robust, and actionable research agenda for climate change and mental health.